Hey, what's on guys? My name is Brett. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the Duel Links video, welcome back to another Duel Links farm video. We usually do these for the events and today is no different. We have Lumis and Umbra now in Duel World, which they bring some interesting things that kind of hint towards the future of Duel Links in terms of Illusory Snatcher and I believe its Final Gesture. Those are two of the better cards we have in this event that, to me at least, hint towards Xyz Summoning coming at some point down the line this year or early next year. I would assume it'd be later this year, like September time. That's when we usually get a new world introduced, and maybe that will happen this year. But we're going to be talking about two farm decks today that I've used personally to farm these guys. They are pretty simple farm. There's a few things you need to kind of watch out for with regards to their deck, but beyond that, they should be very straightforward and should be a very easy ride to getting 8,000 score. Both of these decks get 8,000 score without any glossy or prismatics. They just, if they get over them, then that amount over is like the exact amount for per glossy and prismatic. So that's really cool. Let's take a look at these two decks. I put the timestamp on screen right now so you can see exactly which deck to go for. Both of them are pretty free to play, so should be a good time. Should be easy for you guys to build. And yeah, let's get into them. So the first deck we're going to talk about and have a look at is Holy Guard on Taya. So this is a very classic Unhappy Girl deck. This is pretty much a bare bones standard list that you'd be running. Of course, we're running the Aegis of Gaia because we do want to gain that extra amount of life points, because if you don't open up with Ladybug in your hand, then you might be a little bit short in the end. But we also have a ton of draw power in Good Goblin Housekeeping, in Legacy Yaskarasa. Of course, you can switch those out for things like Sandgans if you want to guarantee to draw into Unhappy Girl and Ladybug, or you can swap them out for Jar of Greeds, which are again very easy to obtain. But I found personally that you don't really need to use the draw power, because he will keep kind of recycling that Mask of Remnants, I think it is. He'll recycle that back into the deck, and at some point it'll get to the point where he can't use the effect of Desgardius to kind of recycle it back out. So you will be able to win the duel without utilizing all your draw power. So maybe not, just be careful, optimize your life points, go for that. The higher the life points rather than drawing the extra cards, because you don't need the glossy points or whatever. You don't need the points to do it. You just need the big damage on board to guarantee the 8,000 points. Now, one thing to kind of worry about with this deck is that if he has Mask of Remnants on and he uses, he tributes off his Master of Desgardius, he can then use that card's effect, get the Mask of Remnants out, and if it's brought out to the field by the effect of Masterpiece Desgardius, then you can take control of a monster, and they might take control of Unhappy Girl and then kind of ruin your farm, because you do need 3 Unhappy Girls pretty much on board, or at least 3 monsters that can't attack, and 3 Unhappy Girls will kind of guarantee your opponent's monsters can't attack on board for the Ra summon. So there is that risk that this could happen, this farm could fail, but you have that with like every single farm that could fail, but it hasn't failed for me, so hopefully you guys will have the same luck. But again, it's a very straightforward farm deck. Enjoy the video, and we'll see you in for the second deck afterwards.
Duel!
So the second deck we're going to talk about is Fairy Smile Shizu, and this was built by Jade Hex over on the Duel Links Meta Discord. I'll leave links down below to Duel Links Meta's website where you can see all their farm decks, all the decks they've come up with for this event, because they're probably going to be a lot better than this one, but they might be not as free to play or whatever. I haven't really looked. I just took this deck because it was cool, and I just wanted to show you guys, because I know not all of my viewers are Duel Links Meta viewers, which is kind of weird when you think about, but that's true. I know that for a fact. So we're using Ra again. This is pretty standard with farming at this point. The Ra is one of the easiest go-to cards to at least get out big damage on board. And we're using Cloudians, and the reason we're using Cloudians is because when combined with things like Sanctuary in the Sky and Spirit Barrier, he can't deal us any damage, which he can get some pretty big monsters on board very easily. Obviously, the Master Beast, Desgardius, the Master Beast, those are his two big boss monsters, and he can get those out very, very easily, so we're using those. But additionally, we have the effects of the Cloudians to actually utilize at our disposal. So Cirrus Stratus allows us to pop 2 fog counters to pop a monster on the field. That could be used potentially to pop one of his Grantic Elders or a Master Beast, so he can not go into the Master Beast Desgardius for a second time in a duel. Or you could use things like, I believe it's Acid Cloud to pop his what's the card? It's Mask of the Accursed, the one that will reduce your life points by 500 every turn. You can pop that, and so that will make your life points not decrease, though I don't think that will really be necessary, just based on the fact that you do gain a lot of life points with this deck anyway, because Fairy Smile, every time you draw a Fairy type monster, you gain 1,000, so there is, 3, 6, 9, 12 targets in this deck. That's a potential of 12,000 extra life points you can gain on top of your 4,000, and as you can see in the replay I didn't really draw into any of my first turns, so I gained the maximum benefit out of Fairy Smile. So a really cool little deck. We're using, of course, the final turn play being summoning Ra, playing Seal, and then attacking directly with Ra and using anti-magic arrows to make sure he can't use his back row. Pretty straightforward, again, very similar to the first deck we talked about, but just a nice little farm deck. If you already have the Cloudian deck set up, you can definitely go and use that. I don't know whether you need Shooting Star Bow Seal. It just might be more beneficial for points because he will pretty much have his monsters in attack mode anyway. So nothing to really worry about there with them being in defense. So take a look at the replay and let me know how you get on with this deck, and yeah.
Duel.
So that's going to be done for today's Duel Links. Hope you guys did enjoy. Maybe I'll have a pack opening later on for the new set. I'm not too sure. Again, I do want to go into it, but I'm not sure whether I'll do like a pack opening video or whatever. But I do plan, if you guys have stuck around this long, to do way more PP videos because I've been missing doing that, and I want more content on the channel, and that's just going to let me do more. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next Duel Links video. Again, let me know if these decks worked. If they didn't, let me know. If you've got other decks that you have that worked, put them in the comments down below or in the Discord or whatever. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.